Wait until you see what happens when you finally find the right haircut, the one that doesn't hide your features, but reveals something in you that's been waiting to shine. It starts like any ordinary morning. You wash your face. You look in the mirror. And there she is, a woman with kind eyes. And maybe just a little weariness behind them. That same old haircut you've had for years, was it ever really you? Or just the safe choice? But today, something's different. You're not trying to look 20 years younger. You're just wondering if it's still possible to feel fresh again, lighter, freer, more yourself. If you've ever felt like your round face, your curves, your age limit, your hairstyle options, this video is for you. We're diving into 5 flattering haircuts made just for women like you. Not to change who you are, but to celebrate it. And when we get to hairstyle number 3, you might just look in the mirror and say, wait, is that really me? Comment below if you've ever felt this way. And subscribe because your transformation starts right now. 5. The Balanced Bob, a classic cut for modern confidence. Sandra was 62 when she sat in my chair. She wore a soft navy sweater, carried a quiet smile, and had that look I've seen many times, part hope, part hesitation. I've tried going shorter, she said, but it always makes my face look rounder. I paused, then asked her a question most stylists overlook. Have you ever tried a bob that stops right at the collarbone, not above it, not below? She blinked, then shook her head. That's when I smiled. Because what Sandra needed wasn't just a haircut. She needed a line, a visual anchor that brought the eye to the most elegant part of her figure, her neckline. We designed a balanced bob that hit precisely at the collarbone, not chin length, which often cuts the face too abruptly, not shoulder length, which can pull features downward. This specific length gives structure and softness all at once. It draws attention to your décolletage, which naturally slims and elongates your overall silhouette. We added subtle layering starting 2 inches from the bottom, just enough to create movement, without adding unwanted volume around the face. Then came the magic for her rounder face shape. I angled the front pieces ever so slightly longer, framing her cheeks with gentle diagonal lines. That shift, that intentional softness, turned everything around. Styling this look at home is easier than you think. Start with a light volumizing mousse. Apply from mid-length to ends. Blow dry with a round brush, guiding the hair inward toward the chin to emphasize the signature curve. Don't skip the cool shot at the end. It locks in the shape and gives the finish a healthy, confident shine. This cut is incredibly low maintenance. You only need a trim every 6 to 8 weeks to keep that beautiful structure intact. For everyday styling, use a lightweight styling cream or add a touch of texturizing spray when you want a more tousled, effortless look. Now, let's talk about what not to do. The biggest mistake I see with this bob: cutting it too short. When it hits above the jawline, it can actually highlight facial fullness, the opposite of what most women want. Another common issue: overlayering. Too many layers can chop up the shape and remove the elegance this cut was built to enhance. Keep it clean. Keep it classic. When Sandra returned 2 months later, she told me something that stayed with me. For the first time in years, I actually like my reflection. That's what this cut does. It's not flashy. It's not trendy. But it quietly transforms how you feel about your face, your features, and the woman you see in the mirror. Are you Team Bob? Drop a gaz in the comments if this style speaks to you. Or share your past bob experiences, the good, the bad, or the ones you wish had gone differently. And remember, your hairstyle shouldn't hide your beauty. It should highlight it, every curve, every angle, every inch of confidence you already own. Sit. The dynamic layered cut when movement awakens beauty. Mary was 58 when she came to see me, an artist, a potter, someone who worked with her hands and created beauty every single day. But that beauty didn't quite extend to how she felt about her own hair. I always wear it pulled back, she admitted. Long hair makes my face look rounder. She said it with that familiar half-laugh women often use when they've given up on the idea of something working for them. But I looked at her, this creative, expressive, quietly powerful woman, and I asked her one simple question. Have you noticed, when you turn your head, your hair doesn't move at all? She paused, then smiled. We both knew it was time. What we created that day was a dynamic layered cut, and it was a game changer. We started the first layer just below her ears, not higher. That's key. If you layer too close to the crown, you end up adding width to the sides of your face, which is exactly what we don't want. Instead, these layers flowed downward like ripples in water, soft, natural, and full of movement. The longest layer landed about mid-back, giving her enough length to play with, but with the kind of bounce that makes every turn of the head feel intentional. And let me tell you, when she walked, her hair moved like a silk scarf catching a breeze. That movement alone changed how she carried herself. Here's the styling breakdown. Use a curl-enhancing cream on damp hair. Then either let it air dry naturally for effortless waves or twist small sections for loose spirals. Want something sleeker? A paddle brush and some light heat protectant spray will give you that glossy, polished look. You can also straighten the top and curl just the bottom layers with a large barrel iron, perfect for special occasions. The beauty of this cut is that it adapts. For round faces, we keep the layers longer and more cascading to elongate the shape. For square or angular faces, we soften the edges with more face-framing pieces. And for heart-shaped faces, a few carefully placed shorter layers around the chin can add the perfect balance. This cut grows out gracefully. You can go up to 10-12 weeks between trims, and it still looks amazing. And Mary, she called me after her gallery opening to say a friend had pulled her aside and asked, "Are you in love?" She laughed and said, "No, I just got a haircut." But we both knew it wasn't just a cut. It was her quiet return to herself. Now, if you've ever felt stuck with long hair because you thought cutting it meant giving up softness or femininity, think again. The right layers, placed in the right hands, can celebrate your curves, lift your features, and reignite the way you move through the world. So, are you team layers? Drop a in the comments if you're ready to see your hair dance again, and if you think that was powerful, just wait. Because hairstyle number 3? It's the one that makes people stop mid-sentence and say, "Did you do something different? You look amazing." Get ready, this next one is pure magic. San. The asymmetrical lob, a bold shift that redefines you. Some haircuts don't just change how you look, they change how you see yourself. That was exactly the case with Lisa. She was 59, recently retired after decades as a high school teacher. The kind of woman who spent years putting others first. She walked into my studio with her hair in a long, low ponytail, the same style she'd worn for years. "I just don't think I have the face for short hair," she said. "Long feels safer." But here's what I saw. A woman who wasn't afraid of her age, just of being seen in a new way. So I gently asked, "What if you didn't go short? What if we just shifted the angle?" We created an asymmetrical lob, and it was an absolute game changer. One side curved softly to the collarbone, the other gently stopped mid-neck. Nothing harsh, nothing dramatic. Just a thoughtful, sculpted silhouette designed to do one thing, bring focus back to her face. And it did. That longer side? It created a diagonal line that visually slimmed and elongated her jawline. The shorter side? Tucked just behind the ear, it revealed the sparkle in her earrings, the lift in her cheekbones, and perhaps for the first time in years, the light in her eyes. Lisa looked in the mirror, tilted her head slightly, and whispered, "Wow, I finally have cheekbones." Let's talk structure. This cut requires minimal layers, mostly concentrated at the ends to avoid heaviness. The longer front pieces frame the face, while the back is lightly tapered, not stacked or blunt, just enough to maintain softness and movement. For styling, here's the secret. Use a heat protectant, then blow dry the longer side, using a paddle brush, pulling it slightly forward and under to emphasize that elongated line. The shorter side? Smooth and sleek. Then tuck it gently behind the ear, and just watch how your whole profile lights up. Finish with a lightweight shine serum or a texturizing cream for soft definition. Now, here's what makes this cut so magical. It works for every face shape if cut correctly. Have a rounder face? Keep the angle sharper and draw the longer side closer to the chest. Longer face? Soften the diagonal line and add fullness near the ends. Heart-shaped? A touch more volume around the chin brings perfect balance. And if you've ever been told that asymmetrical styles are too edgy for older women, forget it. This isn't about chasing trends. It's about creating movement, direction, and confidence. It's about reclaiming the parts of your face you thought you had to hide and letting them be seen again. So, are you bold enough to go asymmetrical? Drop a huge in the comments if this one made you stop and stare. Because sometimes, all it takes is a shift in angle to completely shift how you feel. And don't go anywhere because the next style, it challenges everything you've been told about short hair and plus-size beauty. Trust me, you've never seen a pixie quite like this. 2. The textured pixie, bold, feminine, and surprisingly freeing. Let's be honest, not everyone feels ready for a pixie cut. For so many women, it brings up fear of looking harsh, fear of losing femininity, fear of drawing too much attention to the wrong places. That's exactly how Diana felt when she walked in. She was 65, sharp, strong, retired after decades running a manufacturing plant. The kind of woman who knew how to lead others, but hadn't given herself permission to try something new in years. I've always thought pixies made my face look rounder, she told me. And I said something I say often because it's true. It's not the pixie that's wrong, it's the proportions. That day, we built a textured pixie that changed everything. We kept 2 to 3 inches of length on top, creating lift and volume exactly where it flatters the most. Not flat. Not spiky. Just soft, tousled height that elongates the face and brings attention upward. The sides were gently tapered, never buzzed, because this isn't about being edgy for the sake of it. It's about balance. We left a touch of softness behind the ears, allowing the cut to flow naturally toward the back, which was lightly graduated, smooth, feminine, intentional. And here's where the artistry came in. I used point, cutting techniques to create texture, every strand shaped like it had a purpose. The result? A look that was sculpted, not severe. Light, not flat. It was a pixie, but it was hers. For face shapes, this style is more customizable than most people realize. Got a round face? Add height at the crown, and keep some slightly longer fringe pieces around the temples. It adds angles where you need them. Square face. Soften the edges and taper gently toward the jaw. Heart-shaped. Add fullness just above the ears to balance a narrower chin. Styling this cut is where the magic continues. Diana told me. It takes me 4 minutes in the morning now. Here's why. A lightweight texturizing paste is all you need. Rub a little between your fingers and tousle the top for volume. For a sleek look, use a smoothing serum and a flat brush. Want waves for a special event? Use a tiny curling iron to bend a few pieces, just enough to create that soft, effortless movement. And the best part? This cut always looks intentional. Even if you run your hands through it and go, you'll still look polished. The biggest myth I want to shatter is this: short hair doesn't make you look bigger. The wrong cut might. But the right pixie, it creates structure, draws focus, and celebrates your best features. So tell me, are you brave enough for the pixie? Drop A in the comments if this one surprised you. Because for Diana, it was the beginning of something entirely new. And next, we're breaking another rule about long hair, age, and what it means to embrace your beauty on your own terms. Stay with me, you're going to love what's coming next. 1. The long layered hair when length becomes lightness. Let's talk about long hair. Not the heavy, shapeless kind you keep because you're afraid to let it go. Not the kind that feels like it's pulling your features downward like a curtain you forgot to open. But long hair that moves, that frames, that lifts. That was what Julia discovered at 60. She came in with hair she hadn't changed since her late 20s. It was thick, long, and always tied back. She said, "I keep it because it feels like me. But lately, it's starting to feel like too much." And I could see it. Every strand was dragging her face downward, not because of age, not because of volume, but because it had no shape, no rhythm, no intention. So we changed that. We began by cutting soft layers starting right at the chin level, just enough to act like a gentle frame around her face. Then we added longer cascading layers that extended down past her shoulders, finishing at mid-back. This subtle staircase of movement brought instant lift. What was once heavy became soft. What was flat became flowing. It was the same Julia, but lighter, radiant. The styling couldn't be simpler. On wash days, use a volumizing mousse and a round brush to blow-dry the crown, lifting the roots while smoothing the layers. Or apply a curl-enhancing cream, scrunch gently, and let it air dry for relaxed, beachy waves. For casual days, pull it back into a low ponytail, but leave out a few of those face-framing strands, and suddenly, you look like a classic movie star walking through her own scene. The biggest myth we need to break? That long hair makes you look older or bigger. That's not true. Unshaped long hair does that. But when done right, long layers are one of the best confidence boosters you can give yourself. They move when you move. They whisper elegance with every step. And most importantly, they reflect who you are today, not who you used to be. Now, here's how to tailor this style to you. For round faces, angle the front layers slightly to create a subtle slimming effect. For longer faces, keep the layers fuller and softer to add balance. For heart-shaped faces, make sure the shortest layers hit just at the jawline to bring attention to the cheekbones, not the chin. Maintenance? Just trim every 10 to 12 weeks to keep the shape clean. Use dry shampoo between washes to keep volume at the roots. And don't underestimate a good deep conditioning mask. Once a week, healthy layers shine better. So, are you still holding on to old hair because it feels safe? Or are you ready to rediscover how freeing long hair can actually be? Drop A in the comments if you've ever felt like your hair was weighing you down, and let me know if this style speaks to you. Because sometimes, keeping the length isn't about refusing to let go. It's about learning how to wear it differently, with purpose, with grace, and with your face leading the way. Every hairstyle you've seen in this video is more than just a technique, a cut, or a trend. It's a reflection of something deeper, a quiet kind of permission to see yourself differently, to shift the way you carry your head, the way you move through the world, the way you recognize yourself in the mirror after years of putting everyone else first. And if you're watching this thinking, could that work for me? Then let me say this clearly, yes. Yes, you can wear the bob. Yes, you can rock the layers. Yes, you can pull off the pixie. Not because you need to prove anything, not because you're chasing youth, but because you deserve to feel at home, in your own skin, and on your own terms. Maybe it's been a long time since you felt excited about your hair. Maybe salon visits have become more stressful than inspiring. Maybe you've started to believe that certain styles are off limits now. I hope this video gently rewrites that narrative for you, because beauty after 60 isn't about hiding, it's not about shrinking. It's about soft light, honest lines, and the kind of confidence that comes not from being noticed, but from finally seeing yourself clearly. If any part of today's video felt like it spoke to your story, I'd love to hear from you. Drop a comment, share a moment, or even just leave a single emoji to say, "I'm still here, and I still care about how I feel." And if there's someone you love who's been struggling with her reflection lately, send this video to her. You never know, this might be the very beginning of her gentle comeback, too. Don't forget to subscribe, so that the next time you need a little nudge, a little reminder, a little voice telling you that beauty doesn't expire, I'll be right here, sharing more stories, more possibilities, and more ways for you to feel light, free, and wonderfully yourself again. Because it's not too late. It never was.